Hi, my name is Mario Alves. I'm Head of Sales and Partner Management at aixigo in Aachen. Today I'd like to talk about customer and advisor experience which are key in wealth management, and the question, what drives the wealth experience? Now, if you look at the world today, a fancy interface has become a commodity, a hygienic must. Things have to look good. But if it's hygienic, it's not going to differentiate us. So wealth managers will need to go beyond this. But which forces will drive the definition of wealth management in the future? Will it be products? Will it be incredible perks that go along with the relationships? Now, if we look back from where we come from, this might deliver an idea. I've drawn this sketch out of the BCG study, and it reflects the development of wealth in the last 20 years. If you look at the clients we are currently working with, we are currently focusing on customers that come from the generations X, Y, and Z, whatever this means to you. But all of them, they are looking more at purposes in general. This is different to the baby boomers, which were more financially focused. And this delivers some new challenges for us. If you look at the value propositions we have to deliver, it has gone from weighing equities and bonds towards considering private equity, passive investment styles, and sustainable investments to be incorporated in portfolios. And on the interaction side, things have changed rapidly, from telephoning and personal meeting to being digital wherever and whenever the customer needs us. So this is where we are. Deloitte has done a piece on the development of private banks in the future. And they try to model 4 standard strategies to go beyond from where we are today. These strategies go from a club feeling style to wealth management marketplaces. So they are very widespread. All of them are more or less quite customer-centric, and they have been developed alongside the control of the value chain and the client interaction model. And while I looked at these strategies, a couple of questions came to my mind. First, this raises some questions. Do we really have to decide on one position on the human-centric versus machine-centric line? Or is it more that the customer will decide where and when he wants to be in touch and with what means? On the purpose-driven side of investment decisions, I think we will be going down along 2 paths. One is that the customer wants to achieve his personal goals in life, but on the other hand side, he wants to be sure to do the right thing. And can we, seeing these 2 sides of the story, construct and monitor a portfolio reflecting these both sides? When we're going to interaction, I think the radicality in this lies in the situation that a customer is not only meeting us once in a quarter now digitally. No, the interaction will be much more frequent, which will be much more spontaneous. And whilst monitoring a portfolio, we need to be also available. This is a new requirement, a new challenge. And if you look at the asset classes, private equity or private equity style assets have become more relevant for all the customers. How can we handle this? And how can we efficiently advise our customers on assets that we cannot understand fully by market prices? So I think there are a lot of challenges in the future, but I'm totally sure of one thing. If we want to win the war on customers and advisors, we need to be the best in the very core of our proposition. And this remains the proposition that we had for ages. Our customers want us to understand their goals in life and how they want to achieve them, in general, but surely, especially financially. And our customers expect that we understand and master wealth, and including a view on prospective risk and chances. Our customer wants us to bring all this together and take a fair price for it with giving him the products and the service that he demands. So when we look at this and what we do today, we think that from a From our current point of view, we are more or less delivering good portfolio management with the detailed management of the client's portfolio and their positions, and monitoring the whole portfolio and building it in a good way. But the future will be to be more holistic on this, to first of all holistically understand the client's financial situation and then understand his overall situation. And by having this view, providing focus on the financial care of the client goals, whether they are financial or otherwise. This means that holistic wealth management needs to be personal at its very core, really looking at all the different dimensions that a customer has, from his investment style, from his goals in life, from his personal health and insurance situation, towards his goals with families and other things. So we need to consider the customer as one, as a whole view. And this delivers the answer to our question. The wealth experience will be driven by our capability to provide our corporate position to our customers more exciting, more engaging, and more efficient than ever before. And this is a trend that is happening in all industries. And this trend is called HyperPersonalization. Now let's see how a Swiss private bank created their wealth management platform to get ahead of the curve in this sense. On the right-hand side, you see Christian Gründner, Chief Operating Officer of Wantable. He explained to me that they wanted to drive their new wealth experience by following a very simple rule. They wanted to be able to deliver up-to-date customer and advisor journeys in less than 3 to 6 months. And as they looked at this, it meant to them that they needed to change the bank very often. And looking at their situation, this was and is simply not possible with the monolithic systems we see a lot. So they needed to find a better strategy. There's a whole series of interviews with Christian on that matter, which you can find on our website. But the very essence is that when they started to build a digital advisor solution, they came to the conclusion that building another solution simply doesn't work because it creates a very complex architecture. And if they wanted to deliver new user journeys in place in less than 6 months, that was simply not going to work with the situation that they had. So they decided to think differently. They delivered the solution with something that they created alongside of that, a technology stack that reflected their future needs best. And that stack is called the Wantable DigiHub. And it's basically the combination of technology in one joining API layer that they can now use to deliver these solutions more rapidly. And they have been impressively successful. They delivered in the last 24 months not only a fully new advisory system with an unmatched risk approach, they also delivered Wantable Vault, which I guess you all know, as their new digital discretionary portfolio management offer. They delivered a new view for their customers on their portfolios, and they even created 2 new business models like digital portfolio management as a service and advice as a service. All these new solutions use the Wantable Digital Hub, a seamlessly embedded state-of-the-art wealth technology architecture that is API-led. And this visionary approach is really truthfully inspired by Wantable, which I think is an inspiring vision and has been excellently executed. I'd like to point out 2 personalization highlights. The advisory tool of Wantable really delivers a very customer-centric risk approach. It makes risk very understandable because they turn away from a generic value-at-risk point of view towards systematic risks. This delivers much more engagement because now Wantable can deliver systematic risk research towards the advisor and the customer. And this allows for more transparency and more understandable construction of a portfolio. In addition, this also saved a 7-digit budget position through technology instead of buying very expensive data. On the digital portfolio management side, I think they really deliver true private banking digitally. Vault incorporates triple alpha approach on the core, on the created satellites, and on something that they call opportunities. In Vault, every customer has a unique portfolio through choice and algorithms. What I find especially interesting is that their thematic investment is done with single stocks, which is unmatched in the digital investment world and very engaging, as I, as a customer, can say. If you want to see what Wantable has built, you might want to visit our virtual booth tomorrow and get the experience. To wrap it up, in a nutshell, customers are showing a growing need of wealth management being 100% about them. And if you look at the affluent customers, they are looking for a private banking style service, but with retail efficiency. If you look at the service side, experience is really the major driver of growth. But that experience is driven by efficient excellence in our core proposition. We need to reflect this in our business architecture, which means that we need to build an architecture that is flexible enough to adopt for changes more liquid than in the past, which is being forced by the volatility of needs, creating new levels of uncertainty. On the technology side, I think the ability to find and integrate capabilities is more important than the ability to build by yourself. Because one thing seems to be clear, one solution never does the job. So we think the next challenge for wealth management will be to drive the new wealth experience, to make it important, hybrid, individual, efficient, digital, and transparent at once. I'd like to invite you to our webinar following this keynote, and also to invite you to our booth tomorrow in the virtual exhibition. Have a great day. Bye.